Picture this, a powerful Roman senator draped in a magnificent, gleaming white toga, striding through the forum, a symbol of power and prestige. But what if I told you that the secret to that brilliant white wasn't some fancy ancient soap, but something far more personal? Brace yourselves, because today we're diving into one of history's most pungent secrets, the ancient Romans' surprising obsession with human urine. It sounds utterly bizarre, right? The same civilization that gave us aqueducts, concrete, and epic poetry used pee for pretty much everything. So why? The answer is simple chemistry. When urine is left to sit for a while, it breaks down and creates ammonia. And ammonia is a fantastic natural cleaning agent. It's a powerful alkaline compound that excels at cutting through grease, grime, and stains. In a world before modern detergents, aged urine was the most effective cleaner they had. It was free, it was everywhere, and it got the job done. So how did this all work? Let's follow the journey of a dirty Roman toga. It all started with collection. The Romans placed large clay pots, called dolia, on street corners and outside public baths. These were essentially public urinals. Once these pots were full, they were collected by entrepreneurs who then sold the contents to local businesses, especially laundries known as philonike. Inside the philonica, the real magic, or maybe just hard work, began. Dirty garments were tossed into large vats filled with a mixture of aged urine and water. Then, laundry workers, called phalones, would literally get in and stomp on the clothes for hours. Think of it like a less glamorous version of grape stomping for wine. This constant foot-pounding agitated the fabric, allowing the ammonia to work its way deep into the fibers and dissolve all the dirt and sweat. After the stomping session, the clothes were wrung out and rinsed repeatedly in huge basins of clean water to wash away any leftover grime and, of course, the smell. To get them even whiter, the garments were often hung over large wicker frames and bleached with sulfur smoke before being laid out in the sun to dry. The final result? Surprisingly clean, bright, and odorless clothing. Those brilliant white togas we see in movies? Yep, cleaned with pee. This liquid gold industry became so important and profitable that it even caught the eye of the emperor. In the 1st century AD, Emperor Vespasian, who was always looking for new ways to fill the state's coffers, decided to implement a urine tax. He levied a charge on the collection of urine from public toilets. His own son, Titus, was reportedly disgusted by the idea, finding it beneath the dignity of an emperor to profit from such a foul source. Vespasian's response has become legendary. He held a gold coin under his son's nose and asked if it smelled bad. When Titus said no, Vespasian declared, "Pecunia non olet, money does not stink." The tax was a huge success, and the phrase is still used today to say that the value of money isn't tainted by where it comes from. But the Romans' love for urine didn't end with the laundry. It was also a key ingredient in the smelly but essential business of leather tanning. Tanneries were usually located on the outskirts of Roman towns for a good reason: the stench was overpowering. To prepare animal hides, tanners would soak them in vats of urine. The ammonia was incredibly effective at breaking down leftover fatty tissues and flesh, making them much easier to scrape off. It also helped to loosen hair from the skin, preparing the hide to be turned into everything from sandals and belts to military armor. Without urine, the Roman leather industry would have been a lot less efficient. Now, if you thought laundry and leather were strange, get ready for this next one. Urine was also a staple in Roman personal hygiene. Believe it or not, many Romans used it as a mouthwash. The ammonia acted as a powerful antiseptic and a bleaching agent, and they believed it would whiten their teeth and prevent cavities. They weren't entirely wrong about the whitening properties, but I think we can all agree we're glad we have minty fresh toothpaste today. In fact, some sources say that the most prized urine for this purpose was actually imported all the way from Portugal, as it was believed to be the strongest and most effective. Imagine paying extra for imported pea mouthwash. Beyond cleaning and cosmetics, urine played a significant role in Roman medicine. The famous Roman encyclopedist, Pliny the Elder, documented a whole host of medical treatments involving urine in his work, Natural History. He recommended using it to treat a wide range of ailments, from burns and chapped skin to scorpion stings and even dog bites. He suggested bathing the eyes with it to improve vision and using it to treat sores, skin irritations, and scalp diseases. While the idea of applying urine to an open wound might make us cringe, for the Romans it was a practical and accessible antiseptic. In a world without antibiotics, they used what they had, and the ammonia in urine would have helped to clean wounds and prevent infection. It was their version of an all-purpose antiseptic ointment. So, from the gleaming togas of senators to the sandals on their feet, from their sparkling smiles to their medical kits, Urine was an unsung hero of Roman daily life. It's a powerful and slightly gross reminder that innovation isn't always glamorous. Sometimes the most creative solutions are found in the most unexpected, and in this case, the most universal of places. It just goes to show you that one person's waste can truly be another person's treasure, or at least, their laundry detergent. Now, let's shift our focus from the laundry to the heart of Roman spectacle, the arena. Who were these legendary figures, the gladiators? They were a diverse group. Many were slaves, prisoners of war, or condemned criminals forced into the bloody sport. But surprisingly, some were free men, volunteers called octorati, who chose this dangerous life for a chance at fame, fortune, or to escape crushing debt. Life in a gladiator school, or ludus, was brutally demanding. Recruits, known as novitiates, were subjected to a relentless training regimen. Their diet was carefully controlled, typically high in carbohydrates like barley and beans to build a layer of fat over their muscles, which helped protect against superficial cuts. They were trained by a lanista, who was both their owner and coach, and specialized instructors called doctors. Each gladiator was trained in a specific fighting style, with unique armor and weapons like the retiarius with his net and trident, or the heavily armed murmillo. The bonds formed between gladiators were complex. They were brothers in arms, sharing meals and training, yet they knew that one day they might face each other in a fight to the death. They even formed associations, or collegia, to ensure proper burials and provide for their families if they fell in the arena. Despite their low social status, successful gladiators could become superstars, adored by the crowds and even by noblewomen. They were the ultimate symbols of Roman martial virtue, living and dying for the entertainment of the masses. Despite their brutal profession, many gladiators formed families. Roman law officially forbade the daughters of senators and equestrians from marrying gladiators, who were considered infames or shameful. However, many gladiators had wives or concubines and even children. Inscriptions on tombstones reveal touching dedications from wives to their fallen husbands, showing that love and family life could exist even in the shadow of the arena. These families often lived in or near the gladiator schools, and the collegia provided a crucial social safety net for them. The path to becoming a champion was paved with blood, sweat, and relentless discipline. A gladiator had to survive and win consistently. With each victory, a gladiator's fame grew. They would earn prize money and could attract wealthy patrons. A truly exceptional gladiator, one who showed incredible skill and bravery, could become a primus palus, the top-ranked gladiator of his school. These champions were the heroes of the masses, their images appearing in mosaics, pottery, and graffiti across the empire. The ultimate prize for a gladiator was freedom. A gladiator who had fought with exceptional distinction for several years could be awarded the rudis, a wooden sword that symbolized his discharge from service. He was a free man, a living legend. Some retired champions even returned to the schools as doctors, passing on their deadly knowledge to a new generation. They had faced death and emerged victorious, transforming from slaves and outcasts into celebrated symbols of Roman strength and courage. If you enjoyed this dive into history's dirty secrets, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time!